Hello and welcome to round 2 of Division 2 of the Crossplay ExA Division. I'm Gareth Allen, your host tonight, and looking forward to some action. I've just been propositioned by Wilm and Epic to support England if they both finish top 10, and it's a hard pass on that one because there's quite a high chance you'll be top 10, and the ante is that I get a cookie on the flip side, which doesn't seem quite fair. But yes, let's just have a quick look at the standings before we jump in to the race lobby. I've also got the England-Wales game on the side, so forgive me if I have a few sly glances at that point, and ping me if you want an update. So Dion is in lead of the championship, 25 points after PRL Epic was penalised last week and lost his first position, but was really dominant on the road, and that will inspire him with confidence going forward. PRL Epic obviously second in the championship, Ultra in third, EXA Vipt in fourth, Astro and fifth. So actually Astro unlucky not to win last week and be out of it due to a strategy falling away from him. And we'll see how that settles up through the Drivers' Championship throughout the rest of the season, of course. This is just one round of many coming up, and second round of many. And we'll have a quick look at the constructors before we jump over to the main commentary feed. So Ferrari are in the lead of the constructors after Surprise did a good reserve appearance last time out. I believe he finished second, actually. Alfa Romeo are in second position in the championship, only 5 points behind the Ferrari. Alpine only 2 points back from that. Aston Martin 10 points back from third place, and Williams have the same amount of points, currently sitting in fifth. Wilm and Epic saying that they deserve P1. I wonder why that is. Is that because you're Alfa Romeo, maybe? But we'll see. Maybe it's possible that you will build into this one over the race week. But yeah, let's just jump in. Let's have a few stats about Jeddah. Let's just switch back actually to the driver standings because that's a more important view. Jeddah. So Jeddah was the 75th different circuit to join a Formula 1 calendar, which is surprised. Hello, Rody. How are you doing? Yes, so we have 29 laps. I don't know why I said 40. 29 laps of this track. The track is... how long is it? It's 6 kilometers. It's got one of the highest average speeds of the year, 250 kilometers an hour, only topped by Monza. I'm ruining one of my facts there. I could have saved for later. But yeah, the top speed you'll get up to is 322 kilometers an hour, at least in the 21 spec cars, maybe a little bit slower in the 22 spec cars, of course. The regulations made it so ground effect was the main aerodynamic, the main downforce component, and aerodynamics aren't as much to play. But it's 25 laps, is it? Is it 25 laps? Let's just jump in. Oh, why am I saying 29 laps? I feel like it's... Oh, it's quite actually a long one, so it must be quite short. Yeah, it's 25 laps. So, yes, very much looking forward to this one. Let's see how this plays out. Oh, I just heard a noise that my controller disconnected. There we are. Let's hope that was just because I hadn't touched it in a while. And let's jump over to main commentary scene and actually see who is up for... who's in the race today. Obviously, a few people dropped out because of the clash with the England game, but it's just a game, innit? It's just a game of football, like. It's only England playing. So, yeah, so who's in? So Hoovy's a regular, Glexus, Wilm, Code Ooze, who of course is Dion, who won last week after the penalties were applied. PL Epic, Stone Knight, El Turco. Ferrari are disgusting. Why are Ferrari disgusting? In real life or in the game, what they look like? Because they're winning they're leading the championship after one race. I mean, you've got a good chance to take points here so far. The second Ferrari driver is yet to join. Astro's just joined. So that's good. The Williams driver of Astro. Yeah, take a moment while we're before the race just to follow along the social media streams at any point. Also, you can type in !streamers to see what streamers are affiliated with the league, and !league if you are not if you're not part of our Discord. That will show you how to get part of the Discord. And also, please keep an eye out for cars on flyer, lads. Yeah, I mean, that's a very good point, Ooze. It's a tricky one. Lots of blind corners here, and very well demonstrated there, really, how that works, thanks to our new bot setup. Yeah, so it's very important to keep... You wish that command exists. !alpha equal band, I think, is one that does work. So, Ooze, yes, pointing out cars on the hot laps will be coming in fast, so make sure to get out of the way. Then there's not really that many places to get out of the way at this track. We actually had a bit of a ready up in place, so that looks good to me that we're going to get going sort of on time. And just quickly before you jump into the session, a novelty, a new thing this tonight that we're trialing is maybe some post-race interviews. I will put a link into the D2 chat after the race, where you can join the stream and be interviewed by yours truly about how your race has gone. Maybe you won't want to, maybe you will, maybe you've won. Jeddah coming up. It's going to be short qualifying first. 20 minutes or 18 minutes, I can't remember, between those times of short qualifying. The Discord bot nailed the notification. Oh, did it? Let's see. Let's see what it did. Let's streams. Let's have a look at that. Oh, yeah, that's perfect timing. Perfect timing. In on the loading screen. You don't get that often. And the thumbnail is the loading screen now. So we're just loading in. Got a few more cars to join, have we? Loading complete. So we'll load into the session. And these commands, man. These commands. There's a reason why you guys aren't admins. Not that I'm an admin. I've just got access to a load of stuff. Let's enable some of this stuff. Minimap, full track map, etc, etc. Just have a quick look at the weather settings for the race. Yeah, so weather is dry. We are not seeing any rain at Jeddah. It sounds stupid for me to even check, but it really can happen. I had a cool, it was been F121. We had a league race, practice league race. It was actually before this a certain season begun, and we thought we'd do it at Jeddah. It's a bit of a hard track, see what people are like around there, and we put it on dynamic weather as we always do, and it was raining, and we were like, that's unbelievable. Like, unbelievable that happened. But then the lobby crashed, and so we didn't want to put it back onto wet. We were just like, let's roll the dynamic dice again. Wet again. It was wet twice in a row. I think I'll never have a wet race again at Jeddah. But twice in a row we had, rain in the desert. And, the track does flood. Recently, in real life, there was some photos on Reddit of the track actually flooded. So when it does rain, the infrastructure is there not to deal with heavy downpours. So it flooded up actually quite dramatically. Of course, next to the coast, this Jeddah Street Circuit purposely built. And we have quite a few cars already out on track. And it's PRL Epic, is it? No, PRL Epic's backed off. It must be someone who is... Oh, it's the Alpine or the Williams, sorry, of Astro, who's coming up to the end of the first sector, but only on an outlap at this moment in time. And we'll try and keep an eye on these drivers. It's very nice that some drivers have actually enabled their self on broadcast, so I'll be able to see who they are. But Astro is going through turn 16, this right hander, turn 16, 17, and there's just so many turn numbers here. I'll just try and pick out some of the highlights. We have the 3 or 4 long sweeping corners coming to the heavy braking zone of 22. It's not a heavy braking zone actually, it's just a little dabble of brakes. Turn it in for the chicanes of 22, 23 and 24, these set of corners here. And then we have the second of 3 DRS activation zones activated there, and Astro just preparing for a lap here, and we'll talk through this one, see how it goes. Astro, of course, currently sitting in 3rd place in the championship, maybe 5th place actually, and just going to be getting a lap, activating the third of 3 DRS zones, cuts the time being to start the lap, heads into the first corner, braking just past the 100, and you've got to cut as much as you dare of those 2 first corners to have a good one. And it didn't cut too much actually there, but this first sector is all about commitment, and it's one of the tracks that it massively impedes you if you are on a controller, because you can just not get the smoothness and commitment through that first sector. And actually Astro doesn't seem like he's absolutely nailing it there. No, he's smacked his front wing off, and that is very lucky that he did not break anything on his car there. And now he's got to be careful to get back on the racing line without going too far backwards here, because you could get disqualification too. He does do it, and now it's El Turco who's coming through turns 13 all the way at the back end of this track, and now heading towards the second sector, the middle of the second sector even, and just riding that inside curb there, manages to actually not cut it. So El Turco pushing through to the first DRS zone. The Aston Martin driver, I think he's reserving, I believe, this weekend. And how is he doing? He's got a 28.842 through the middle sector, which is obviously the fastest we've had so far, because it's the only one we've had so far. But he's going to come hurtling towards the final corner, big braking zone. You've got to bring this in nicely if you can, and step on the power. A late apex is usually better there. An early apex, you can send yourself flying off into the wall, but he'll cut the timing beam here. Let's see what time this is. It's a 1:29.500 from El Turco. Next car over the line, it's a Ferrari surprise, and then Stone Knight quickly behind with a 1:34.53. So a decent time from El Turco. Over the final few corners comes PRL Epic. So PRL Epic's going to put this up into first position at 1:29.360. Next over the line will be the AlphaTauri of Rowley. Rowley's going to cross the line now, and Rowley goes into 5th position with that. First of the times we've had so far, 31.345. And the Haas of Hoovy is also going to come across the line, and it's a 1:31.180. So knocking Rowley down to 6th, and that's 5th position for the Haas driver. Over the line we have It's Bartle, and that goes into 5th position. There's a thing about 5th position at the moment. Lipix now crossing the line at 1:28.600. That's a very quick time from Lipix. The Mercedes driver didn't have the best of races last time out, and so Invalidate and chose the wrong tyres only, have one more chance of this after lol. From Ooze, who is Dion, of course, our championship leader after one round. And yes, so not going perfectly, the preparations for this track at the moment. Astro, Ultra and Code Ooze also currently sitting in the pits. Glexus is just about to start a lap, I believe. So let's follow Glexus around here and see what he can do as he pushes through the first sector. This sector, it was an amazing first sector to drive. It must be absolutely terrifying in real life. Actually, they're going to make some changes to this circuit to open up some of the corners to make it less blind. But this first sector is massively all about commitment. Of course, when Mick Schumacher had a humongous crash coming out of that corner there in qualifying, one of the reasons maybe he didn't actually get a place, and it's a 32.352 through the first sector, which is a decent first sector indeed from Glexus. So Glexus, who said he's not raced for 3 weeks on F1, just before the race, actually putting in a decent first sector. And let's see how far Glexus is off the pace. The Lipix and Glexus teammates in that Mercedes team this year, and through into the final sector. And this final sector is just 2 really long straight-ish zones. Obviously, of course, this corner, when you see a track map, it's absolutely astonishing how big and juicy this end of the kind of sector is. It's completely flat out for most of it, with just a heavy braking zone at the final corner. And Lipix says wasn't a bad lap, to be honest. And Glexus up into first position, so pipping Lipix to the line. And I said it wasn't half decent laps. Hasn't raced for a while, Glexus, and suddenly puts in the first really quick time today, 1:28.3. I think we may have a 1:27 by the end of this session. Someone creeping into the 1:27s, and Lipix getting called out saying that you've got something else set up, have you? So yes, decent lap from Glexus said. Not more than decent, it was a very good lap. Wilm Racing, who before the race was saying that Alpha should be top on the constructors, he can only blame himself for that after one round. Oh, a bit of a wobble out of turn 24, that is, and that was a huge wobble there, and I think he's backed off of it. I don't know if he was trying to maybe he was trying to warm his tyres up, actually, because he's got EOS on, but it was a really scary moment. I thought he was on a hot lap pushing out of that corner, and yeah, must have maybe just decided to back out of that previous lap. So that's a 1:39. He'll go again for certain. We have 10 minutes left in this qualifying session for the ExA Crossplay Division 2, and a little bit of desync through the first set of corners. We have a yellow in sector 1 and 2. I think that was just a car going a bit too slowly on their outlap, and let's see how Wilm can do through these first set of corners. Was +5. Oh, he's gone massively wide there. So that's disqualified that lap. So won't be going any further on that one. Way too committed through the final corners of 10, 11 and 12 through there. Ultra's leaving the pits. Who else is out? PRL Epic is invalidated his previous lap time, but I believe that was just an outlap. So PRL Epic currently sitting in third, and had pace, of course, to win in Bahrain, and did cross the line first, but had that penalty, I believe, applied for an incident with Astro after the race came out, owned up to it, said didn't realise you'd gone for the move, and yeah, right, okay, a bit of desync there again, and we have a car spun off the Williams, luckily way off the racing line there for PRL Epic, and beautiful through the first sector. That's a 31, is this? A 32? 32.480, and it's fastest through the first sector for the Alfa Romeo driver, so that's very quick through there. And we have some times coming in. Glex is saying, good day, lads. It's a very good day. Have you really not played F1 for three weeks? Oh, Epic takes a big chunk of the wall out of turn 17 and 18 on this windy circuit. I think he's just about to live to fight another day there. He's down on his time though, and I don't think he's going to be a previous lap. I think he must have picked up a tad bit of wing damage from that incident with the wall, so expect PO Epic to return to the pits. Glexus and the Lipix are on outlaps at the moment. Stone Knight in 5th position, 4 tenths faster on that previous lap, so putting in a bit of improvement. Surprise is a 10th and a half up on his personal best, so that would be enough to put him up into 5th, but he's backed off out of the final sector. So Ooze is saying that he's on a used tyre run because he's gone on the wrong tyre compound, so won't be an absolutely perfect lap from the who does he drive for, Ooze? Where is he? Code Ooze. He's he's down in 14th place. He's an Alpine driver. Yeah. I should know this by now, but yeah. Oh, my laptop's just crashed. That's good. Luckily, I don't need that for anything streaming-wise. I've just got all my commentary notes on, so I'll currently reset that in the background. Let's see what it's doing. Yeah, luckily I don't stream off there. And Cody's having a bit of a slow outlap at the moment. Who's next to go to the line? I think it'll be Glexus and Lipix, but I believe they are on outlaps at the moment. Well, Glexus actually at the start of their lap. The Williams of Bartle is coming to the line and going to set a time here. How are they doing, Bartle? It's 4 tenths quicker, but doesn't improve their place. The Alpha Toy, yeah, doesn't improve their place there, so that'll be disappointing for them. The Alpha Toy Rolly being rolled back in at the moment. Ultra coming to the line, but has disqualified a lap, so he'll be going again, certainly. Code Ooze on an outlap. As we discussed, Glexus, how is he doing? 32.241 through the first sector. That is very quick indeed. The Mercedes driver of Glexus coming in with a bit of form at this Jeddah Street Circuit, purpose-built in 2021. Thank you very much for the follow, Adam Howe. And why is that doing that? Look at that. Right, okay, let me... I'll sort that out after watching this lap. Our followers count has gone wild. I'll just quickly disable what that looks like. But out of... Towards the final corner, turn 27, I believe this is. And towards the start-finish straight to cut the timing bead on the lap is Glexus going to prove here. It's 28.487 through the second sector. It's a 27.302 through the final sector. And that's 4 tenths quicker. 128.031. Really, really close to the 127s now. Let's see if anyone can go and top that. We have the Aston Martin of Ultra. No, it must be El Turco who's gone in there. PRL Epic has just retired. I'm not finding any lap time. Pretty worrying. I'm just a retire. So PRL Epic happy with 128.854. I mean, he does have a big gap to the cars that have set his lap time. Astro, Code Ooze, maybe Ultra, you expect to maybe come and have a little bit of a nibble of that lap time. And you're going to have to excuse me while I start up my laptop. And Lipix has returned to the pit, so didn't go any faster on that lap. The Aston Martin of El Turco is certainly on a lap here and pushing through the middle sector. Race pace, yeah, it is. I mean, to be honest, 50% race. You're at Jeddah. If you got some race pace, you're going to be doing all right. You are going to be doing all right. And nothing's working today. My stream has stopped for the. Did I just disconnect? I could have just disconnected that. So that was right at the end of that session, and it is such a sloppy stream today. I apologise. There's not enough players remaining to start the session. Have I just been kicked from the session? That's what that will be. Yeah, okay. Glexus, will you send me an invite if you're watching? Or anyone who's in the lobby. I think I just got disconnected. Can people still hear me? That's the important thing. Yeah, friends. So I think we've been dropped another invite. Gives me just a second to sort out the problem with the followers. Let's just try and sort that out on the fly. Super professional. Yeah, there we are. You're seeing behind the curtain now. Thank you, Glexus, for the invite. Yeah, it is Ferrari Wi-Fi. I've never had that go down before like that, so I'm just gonna not even go watch the Wales game. And I'll join the session. So I wondered what had gone on there. Oh shit! I've just no. I'll need to leave this straight away because there's going to be me running around. I didn't join as a spectator, and that could cause problems, could it? Hopefully it won't pick me up. Spectator mode. Let me just quit to main menu. Yeah, well, you send another invite. I'm already live, Stream Elements. You don't need to remind me. There we are. Actually, no, there we are. Apologies for my language there. I realised I'd not hit Y when joining, so it was going to put me in a race if I stayed in like that. And very frustrating lobby altogether. And I'm just going to hope that my internet can recover from this. Right, okay, so where are we? So, Glexus, 113 on the clock. So, Glexus on an outlap here. A lot of cars on their outlaps. I'm going to quickly see if I can get my notes up on my iPad instead of having them up on my laptop, because my laptop clashed and then I was using it anyway. Let's not do that. Where are they? Must be those docs there, right? Okay, right. Just searching for my presentation. Yeah, right, okay. Let's get rid of that. Glexus starting a lap here, starting their final lap. Currently sitting in pole position. It's Lipix is already halfway through the lap, but they've invalidated, so Lipix won't be going any faster here. PR Epic, Stone Knight, they've all retired. Astro's not left the pits. Code Ooze is on a lap. Where's Cody's on the track? Code Ooze will be first to that line, only slightly improving under the time through the second sector. Stone Knight saying that they messed up their lap at T1, which, yeah, is problematic. Lipix has retired from the Szechuan track, crashed out at turn 11, and nothing is working tonight. None of my peripheries are working. So through the final corner, Code Ooze goes, and it was only slightly improving and returned to the pits. So they won't be going any faster. El Turco is going to be the next car to cross the line, and El Turco currently 28.653 through the second sector, and I don't know if this is going to be quick enough to challenge for the top, but may just be able to pip a few people into the higher places. There we are, into fourth from El Turco, so a good lap at the last there, knocks Stone Knight down into fifth position, and it is Astro, it is Bartle who's coming through the final corner, and then it will be Glexus who's on a lap. Could be just a bit of a glory run here, a chance to improve on whatever they've done, see if they can dip into the 127s. Glexus, he doesn't improve Bartle, but Glexus is improving on the time, and that is first position for the Mercedes driver. So congratulations to them. First place for Glexus, Lipix in second position. Third place is PRL Epic. The 11th is El Turco with a really good lap right at the last to grab fourth position off of Stone Knight. Stone Knight, who just made a mistake on their lap into the first corner, wasn't able to improve, so they're in fifth. Surprise in sixth. Seventh is Astro, Code Ooze 8th, It's Bartle 9th, and Hoovy Gaming in 10th. Okay, right, hopefully at least it will all work for the race, right? It's been a bit of a messy one, I won't lie. Not usually my usual standards, I'm sure, but hopefully it will all work on the night. And yeah, so D1 I got misplaced. So Glexus says he wants to be in D1. I got misplaced. Maybe you did, Glex. You can only prove that on track though, so just put in some decent performance and I'm sure the sorting hat will come out and rectify the situation. Going into the race, a reminder that Dion is in first place in the championship, PL Epic in second with 19 points, Ultra in third on 15, Eviptin is fourth with 12, and Astro has 11th in fifth. The Constructors' Championship is being led by Ferrari by 5 points over the Alfa Romeo team, and a further 2 points in front of the Alpine team. That's the first, second, and third out there. And Hoovy said he almost did a Latifi into the final corner, which did he do anything at this track, or do you mean like what he did at Abu Dhabi? Or do you mean that he would crash a lot? I don't think Latifi's too much of a crasher. He wasn't the best driver. But we'll have 25 laps of racing here. And let's see if Glexus can go and take their first win after not racing for 4 weeks. Didn't make last time out, of course, in Bahrain. And yeah, someone says yeah. So 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5. And the ExA go racing at Jeddah for Division 2. and it's a good start by Glexus, and it's a poor start by... No, it's a bad start by Glexus. He goes back with his Lipix, who has a rocket start up the inside, and he's lost 2 positions. Pierre Epic up into 2nd position. The Alfa Romeo driver trying to put some pressure on the Mercedes driver into this corner, and oh... just runs a little bit wide, just managed to collect himself. So decent stuff there, but yeah, just ran a little bit deep. Lipix covering the inside line and running a little bit wide already. Pierre Epic, he won't want to run too wide too many times. And I think he could have run wide twice there. Or do we have a 3-second time penalty through the first sector? Pierre Epic looking for the inside. There's contact between Lipix and Epic. And that was an absolutely savage move and a reset to track to boot. So I don't know if reset to track is allowed in the league. But Glexus is back into 1st position after that. Lipix being put into a very difficult position by Pierre Epic there, and Epic spinning backwards through the race, resetting to track. Stone Knight up into 3rd position. He's got in front of El Turco, who's fallen dramatically backwards. Let's look at the position changed metric. So down, all the way down, 9 positions lost by El Turco. Stone Knight up into 3rd. Surprise, actually, all of the drivers doing well. Pierre Epic is the other car who's, of course, fell down after that contact into turn 13. They were having a bit of a race, Lipix and Pierre Epic down into turn 4 as well. But it's the Williams on the back of Surprise. So it's Astro on Surprise, and we have a safety car. We have a safety car. Hoovy is out at the final corner, and we have our first safety car. Some frenetic racing through the first part of the race tonight, and yeah, I'm sure that will be looked at by the stewards. Pierre Epic going to the stewards office, I'm sure, 2nd week in a row after that mistake. Well, that attempted overtake into the first corner. I'm sure they'll jump in chat during this safety car period to let us know what happened. But Hoovy Gaming, what happened to you, pal? It's a difficult place to crash. And now we have Glexus, who's spun under safety car conditions. Glexus out to lead of the race after saying he's been missorted, has lost his front wing, and the Alfa Romeo driver, Pierre Epic, I think, had to give the place back. There's all sorts of shenanigans here. So, not sure what's going on there. I think because they overtook under yellows, they shouldn't have done, but the car was spun out. So, and going slowly, it's just a little... you know, caveat of the game, let's call it that. Glexus was in the lead of this race and spun out, didn't have a great start, lost positions to his teammate Lipix and Glexus, but gained those backs after they had contact at turn 13. But Glexus coming through the sweeping corners of 7, 8 and 9 had a little bit of a moment and has lost 6 positions just in that moment under safety car conditions as well, so didn't really need to be pushing as he was, but took the eye off the ball, and that has opened this one up for Lipix. It's not a good day for the Alfa Romeos at this stage. 13th and 9th for the 2 Alfa Romeo drivers, and Hoovy said the reason he is out is because the tyres were too cold and I used too much gas, so too much throttle applied out the final corner, not enough traction promoted from the cars. I think Lipix is just doing that thing where you rev up the car engine massively. And yeah, we have the safety car out on track, so we won't see any improvement. So we'll see a few cars return to the pits. And Glexus has actually retired from the race, has he? Epic has said in chat that it was his fault there, and I think you meant that towards Lipix, Epic, because yeah. So and then Epic has disconnected as well, which to boot isn't good. We have the safety car right there, and oh, of course it stopped on track. That's Paul driver in 11th place. I thought for a second it was Lipix screaming by the safety car, but no, we haven't got that, and it is Lipix actually slowing down the pack quite a lot, knowing that the safety car can't overtake. And the lobby has broke, has it? Because Glexus has left. Did Glexus leave? Because that is, yeah, that is problematic if so. Glexus has not left. So I don't know why people are saying that it's broke. What are people saying? Glex is saying he hasn't left. I got a glitch by the game, but he's still in the race, so the lobby shouldn't be broken. I've not seen anything in chat. I'm going to ask how is the lobby glitched? And I got a glitch by the games that collects this. Epic disconnected. Yes, Epic did disconnect. Let's see if I have Epic. I don't know if I do. Invites and requests. Yeah, I don't think I've got Epic. I don't think he can get invites through the lobby, but I don't know why people are saying it's glitched. Glexus is still here, and that usually is fine. I think the host, if they leave midway through, it can glitch out pretty badly. Host migration isn't F122's absolute forte, and we have the cars of the Mercedes in front of the train actually starting to lead out here. We haven't had a look at what tyres everyone is on. So mediums for both the Mercedes and Alfa Romeo drivers of Leipzig and Epic. Stone Knight's on a pair of hards, so they'll have pace at the end. And picking up some PR. Epic got a 5-second penalty, and he's AI. Okay, that's kind of messy. I saw that. I don't know what he must have been doing, ignoring yellow flags apparently. But yeah, quite a lot of cars getting a penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Not quite sure what's going on, but yeah. So Glex is saying a bit of a weird moment under the physics engine, and yeah. There's a lot of chatter. A lot of people are complaining. How many people are actually disconnected? That's what I want to know. Have they had the safety car on track? People are screaming for restarts. I can't confirm that there's been any restarts so far. I think we'll have to see who's about to make that call if there is. But safety car is in this lap for the drivers still in the race. Leipzig in first, and Leipzig is going to be picking this one up here and start the race again on lap 4 after we had the safety car come out at the start of lap 2. Safety car came out, of course, because of that incident with Hoovy Gaming. Lexus having moments underneath the safety car, and has retired from the race. And Leipzig picks up the traction out of turn 27, and it is the start of lap 5. Who is quick behind? Actually, surprise on the attack. Maybe the Red Bull a bit too far back, but it's the Williams and who are under attack by the Alpine of Code Ooze, but the championship leader wasn't able to make any progress there. We already have a lot of penalties on the cards, and it's actually PL Epic who's pitted and serving that 5-second penalty. Maybe a tactical from him to get onto the hard tyres and maybe hope for a safety car later on. But a strange moment there, and Leipzig has already opened a gap of 1.4 seconds to Stone Notes, who is under a lot of pressure from the Ferrari driver. Surprise, who's Epic goes straight out the pits and picks up a time penalty. He'll be absolutely furious. But surprise, all over the back of Stone Knight, and then Stone Knight will be able to defend this one into turns 15, 16. He is able to get better traction out of the hairpin of turns 13, but slow, and surprise has to take avoiding action out of turn 16 and through 17 and 18, and may actually have a bit of a wing damage here, and looking for a move still on Astro and Bartel both snuck by after that moment. So the Ferrari driver, let's see if they've picked up any kind of damage, and there's Alfa Romeo of Epic who's retired from the race, and we have another safety car. This is Jeddah. Why are people saying what's glitched about the lobby? People are absolutely screaming what's glitched about the lobby. People have just said it's glitched. Please let me know what's glitched about the lobby, other than someone's been kicked off. We have a few cars going into the pits. So Leipzig, our race leader's gone into the pits. So has Stone Knight for a pair of hard tyres. It will be Stone Knight going on to a pair of medium tyres, getting a front wing change too. So that would have been why they were so far off the pace there. And it's Bartel will take the race lead from Pool Diver and Ultra, who are cars yet to pit. Yeah, I think PRL maybe you quit there because the penalties Yeah, right, okay. So a bit of afters from Glexus and Epic there, and we'll see what is going on. I don't, people are complaining about glitches, but no one's actually told me what glitch it is. If it's penalties over AI glitching in my car, so it's penalties, right? Okay. So, I mean, if an AI gave you a gave you a penalty, that's sort of bad luck, right? You know, if you're disconnected as well, that's sort of bad luck. And if you just hit start and the AI gives you a penalty, then that's the risk you run. I don't know what more can be done here. We have 11 races still left in the race, and a long way to go, of course. And yeah, it's PRL Epic, Glexus, and Hoovy Gaming who are out of the race at this time. Some big hitters, and let's have a quick look at the penalties that the cars have. So 3 seconds at Bartle, our race leader. Net race leader is Lipixo, who is the first of cars who has pitted. They don't have any penalties. Stone Knight has a 3-second penalty. El Turco and Astro both have 5-second penalties. They will be able to lose that if they pitted. I wouldn't be surprised to see them pit under the safety car, to be honest. They've got not much to lose at the back. It depends what tyres they're on, of course, because if they're on hards, mediums won't go to the end, so they won't want to do that. Will Racing for the Alfa Romeo team will be the car picking up the points here for Alfa Romeo if they do, and Astro is taking Uroli here. What is going on here? Astro is... I don't quite know what Astro is doing there. He looked to have caused an incident with Stone Knight, it must be said. And I have no idea what's gone on there. There's some kind of shenanigans right in front of Uroli. And was it Stone Knight's fault? I can't quite see what happened there, Glexus. It would look like was Stone Knight. Did Stone Knight go through on Astro? I have no idea. But Stone Knight's just served a 5-second penalty. Astro got another 5-second penalty there. Thoughts on moving to ACC? What, Assetto Corsa Competizione? I've never played it or commentated it, but I would actually quite like to commentate on ACC. And Stone Knight saying I'm in the front. So I have no idea what's gone on there, Stone Knight. I'm not sure what happened. Just clip it, get it posted. It was right in front of Rowley as well. I'm sure Rowley will have some opinions on what happened there. So just get it clipped. Don't worry about it. Just focus on the race. Long way to go. And you cleared your penalty by pitting then. So... yeah, absolutely, Summy. Whatever instance you have, put it to the back of your mind, create that ticket after the race, because this is a very challenging track, and it's been a bit of a tumultuous 7 laps already here. We've had all sorts of carnage, and there's all sorts of stuff going off in chat. We might restart the race, but nothing's been declared yet. Carry on in the race until we get the all clear from our drivers. There is a safety car in this lap, so I'll commentate that and keep an eye out on the race direction from the EXA admins. And we don't know if they're restarting for sure yet. I know Matteo's asked could he do it, but not until we see confirmation. Most likely, exactly, there isn't a restart. So, right, information is all a bit skew with. We'll keep an eye out on this race. And, okay, so there is a restart. Confirmation from Matteo, we're going to restart the race with a 25% race. And it is going to be a 25% race. And Glexus is going to make the lobby. Okay. What happens to cars that crashed out? Are they just in? It's shambolic. I think Glexus summed it up earlier by calling it a shambles. We have a restart. Yeah. I don't know. If I was admin, I wouldn't have restarted this race. That's all I'm saying. But we restarted it, and I don't make those calls. I'm just a commentator. Yeah, I don't understand either, Victorious. There is a restart, and I will. Lipix is the only car who's actually retired. I don't think the other cars have got the memo yet, but there is a restart. I think it's. You'll be saying that it's safe at the back. There is a restart, so Ooze left. It's just AI left in. So I'll quit to main menu. Imagine picking up them positions and losing them all. Yeah, that's how it would go. Not the clearest of organisation, obviously, here tonight, but yeah, I think people have just got to take that penalties are going to happen here. I have no idea what will happen to any instance that happened in the first part of this race. Take that up with Rowley and Matteo. Just get those questions answered. But now let's focus on rebuilding this lobby. Glexus will be the one who's trying to rebuild this, and appreciate him putting the effort in and stepping in as host late. And the results will be NFA. No further action. They will be resulting as NFA. Okay, so because they didn't have an effect, they would be resulting in NFA. Okay, fair enough. Hoovy, what platform are you on? And PC Steam. I think it's like £6 at the moment. Are you really really broke? I think it's like £6 with all the DLC, £3 without the DLC. Oh, you can have my face. I'm just gonna get invited, and then I will get in the lobby and hit spectate. 25% race coming up, so that's 13 laps. Yeah, 13 laps. And we'll go back to my face. There we are. You wanted it. That's on you. Let's have a quick look at the score then. What's going on in the Wales in the game is an absolute boring. It's 0-0. 45 minutes gone. Action-packed. I think Wales need to win by 4 goals. Actually, let's have a quick look. What's going on in the other game? Scores. And USA are leading. So that is not good for Wales. And I think as it stands, that would be England going through in second place and USA top. So not a bad result. Not a bad result, but of course, like to see Wales get a win to round out their campaign. I don't think they're going to be going up, but just a bit of filler there. Remember who finished higher in this? Warra Hamilton seat for Glexus. Lol. Warra, I don't know what that means, Lipix. You'll have to explain to me. So safety car was reduced, apparently, just then. And we had 2 safety cars. And I think it's just, that's Jeddah, right? That is Jeddah. Welcome to Jeddah. It's an absolute show. And how's it going, everyone? Good. We're filling again. Second week in a row. We're filling. D2. We had a big gap in the at the Bahrain Grand Prix last time. Was it the Bahrain Grand Prix? Or, well, it was a Bahrain Grand Prix. Was that D1 or D2? I can't quite remember. But, yeah, we got a few pings in here. So what are we waiting for? People to go in. We have a lot of people in the lobby. I try and give a rundown of what happened. Goated commentator. Thank you. Are you talking about someone else, Ultra? Because that would make sense. I try and give you a rundown what happened in that race. But basically, crashes, safety cars, penalties, more safety cars, red flag is what happened in the first part of the action. I have no idea what the race grid is going to be. So waiting for Astra to join, then we can make the grid. That's what we're waiting for. Thank you very much, Ultra. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll be back for Division 1 tomorrow night at 7 PM. We have lots of different events through the week. Actually, we don't this week because PlayStation Division is not active this week, so we'll have Chocolate League on Saturday. We have the EXA World Cup as well. Some content I'm sure about with that will be streamed. We'll just have to see what that looks like. Obviously, all still in progress. I'll be representing Team Wales along with Lukey F. So that'll be nice to have a bit of a Welsh team going. And if you ask me, I am 25% Welsh, so which just sounds like ridiculous, but yes, that's how it is. So we've got some people reading up already, but I don't think you should be. If you're in, and you should be reading up because actually we have the lobby yet to be reformed. Let's jump back onto the main scene commentary. And Astro is back in, so I haven't seen anything to say that people can ready up. So he's in, and I think it's just about reforming the grid at this stage in time. And then we'll have a 25% race, 13 laps, and the grid is being reformed by Glexus as it stands. Crashed out cars will go at the back, but have a chance to rise from the dead. When there's no more room left in the sim bin, the crashed out cars will walk the earth. Anyway, while that's in progress, you can have my face cam. Yeah, so some changes proposed to Jeddah. Mainly about opening up corners, changing some of the curbing to make it less sensitive for the cars, and also opening up the walls so there's less blind corners, which seems like a good idea. It is an absolutely terrifying track in real life. Yeah, here's a fact. It's a fun fact about the Jeddah Street Circuit. Turn 13, so the hairpin at the right at the back of the circuit after the Sector 1, has 12 degrees of banking, which is 7 degrees less steep than the banking at Zandvoort. It really doesn't seem like it's got much banking actually, but it does have a little bit. Very similar to turn 9 at Abu Dhabi, which is of course the hairpin at the end of the two long DRS straights. And here's another fact. They only started allowing women to drive in 2018, and back in 2002, 1% of the country's national income was accounted to men driving women around, which is just wacky. There was a whole industry around that. Obviously, good that they allowed women to drive. It only took them until 2018, but yeah, when Sebastian Vettel was, of course, there, he was organising karting races for women, which, yeah, Sebastian Vettel is he is a goat. He is a goat. He's probably the best driver in F1 ever. Let's say that. Absolutely mad respect for Sebastian Vettel. And I even liked him back into the Multi-21 days. I always felt like he had a good personality, but was an absolute demon on the track. Yeah. Glexus is saying we're good to go. So that would mean ready up time. Epic is complaining about how good Glexus is, in which case get good. And Rowley saying ready up and be clean. Wise words from the SO Rowley. Yeah, so there's all sorts of chat going on in the Discord channel. Obviously, if you're not part of the Discord, be sure to put in !League to find out how to join our Discord, or invite link should be in there. And it is going to be, let's restore these pages so we can get back to Twitch and just have a quick look at how the stream is going. Why are 13 people viewing me, Phil? I appreciate that. We have 11 seconds, 10 seconds on the clock. Let's switch over to the main commentary scene. A reminder again, we'll have an interview after this race. I don't know how much this is a good idea now, while this race is gone. But we'll have interviews after the race right at the top of the Discord. There's an interviews area. You'll be able to join that, and I will host a stage. And we'll see how it goes, right? We'll see how it goes. We'll have 13 laps here of racing. Round 2 of the Division 2 Crossplay Division for EXA. And if you're interested in dropping us a follow across our socials, TikTok, Instagram, Twitch and Twitter are all being displayed below. And just collect us to load in. I don't. So I think the grid has been reformed based on their starting position. But yeah, I wasn't too sure that would be the case, but it appears it is. So it's been reformed based on their starting position, which I'm surprised about. I thought it was going to be crashed cars at the back, but we'll see. Maybe there was a different communication there that I wasn't aware of. But we have just a few moments left before this race gets going. 13 laps, only a 25% race now after the red flag period. And we'll see who can come out on top. Can Epic have redemption here? Can Glexus go and get the race win? It'll be Lipix and Glexus in first and second position. We have 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And the EXA go racing at Jeddah for round 2 of Division 2 of the Crossplay League. And it's a good start by Lipix again. Up the inside he goes. And it's Pure Epic trying to get involved again. But it doesn't get around Glexus, and Glexus actually manages to keep Lipix behind. It's Pure Epic looking for a move maybe into turn 4. He doesn't go for a move this time around. El Turco has kept position. Let's get position change detail on so we can keep an eye on that. Actually, El Turco under a bit of pressure from the Williams of Astro through the first sequence of sweeping corners. And there's 13 laps out of here. Oh, Lipix running very, very wide out of turn 12. And towards turn 13 they go. And it's Astro up the inside of turn 13 and getting the job done. No, he gives that place back because there's a safety car. And no, he doesn't give the place back. He was just backing off. So there's a safety car. And it's Bartle who was leading the race at the point of the red flag. Will feel very hard done by because he is out of the race after a collision on that opening lap through that first sector. And we have more safety car fun going ahead. Let's see what tyres people are on. Quite a few cars actually on the soft tyres, which is surprising. Quite a few on the softs. I wonder if these soft runners will switch to a pair of hards and try to get to the end here. The Mercedes boys are backed next to each other, so if they both wanted to pit, it would be Lipix who would be losing a bit of time through the pit stops. And does he decide to pit Glexus? No, but Lipix does. Oh, he's trying to duke him out, and Pure Epic doesn't fall for the bait. Does anyone come into the pit? Surprisingly, it's only down into 8th position when the first car comes into pits. Will Macing has pitted, so has Pool Driver, and it's just those 2 cars that will pit, and I'm sure Will may pat onto the pair of medium tyres. Oh, he's changed his front wing, and he is putting on a pair of medium tyres. I'm not sure if they will go to the end. And it's Pool Diver who's gone out onto another pair of softs. So, oh no, he was on the mediums at the start. So he, he's on a pair of soft tyres now. So medium to soft, he'll have to pit again. So we've got pit stops to come, is what I'm trying to say. I don't see anyone in. Bartel said leaving room is hard in the Discord, and I don't see anyone actually necessarily complaining too much about penalties and netcode and yada yada yada. But we'll have to see. That'll be that after the race. I'm almost certain of it. Looking forward to the post race interviews. And it is Glexus who's maintained the lead of the race this time round at the start, and right behind the safety car, not giving that safety car any room, which doesn't seem like the best thing for self-preservation, but there you go. The Mercedes are currently sitting in first and second in the championship. Didn't have a good race last time out and didn't score any points. The only team on the of the 10 that did not score points last time out in Bahrain. So currently sitting in 10th position, 1 point behind McLaren. Obviously, if they can get all the way to the end here, it would be the qualifying point for starting on pole for Glexus, and that would be 1 point. Then there'll be 25 points for finishing first and 21 points for finishing second. So it'd be a mega leap up the standings. Let's say 46 or 47 maybe with fastest lap factored in. Maybe 40. Yeah, it could be actually 48. But we'll see. There's a long way to go, and PRL Epic will want to do something different. He's actually on a pair of mediums at this stage of the race, so maybe we'll be diving onto a pair of softs at the end. Paul Diver has come into the pits again. Let's see if he puts on a pair of mediums, and I'm sure the safety car will be in at the end of this lap. Yeah, it's a pair of mediums that he's switching back onto. So started on the mediums, onto the softs, and back onto the mediums, which, I mean, Wilm and Paul could get to the end here on those medium tyres. Obviously, they don't need to pit, but any further safety car further down the line, and expect it, is a extreme chance of safety cars up this track. And yeah, so Dion is Code Ooze is not very happy with someone in chat. Maybe a bit of a collision with someone else. And it's all just about focusing back on the race. The safety car will be in this lap. The whole field is next to each other, and the Mercedes cars are in prime position to score some good points here, and we'll have to keep an eye out on the restart. 27 turns at this 6.1 kilometer circuit. So fast, really fast, sweeping corners really characterize the circuit. I don't think there's a circuit like it on the calendar, to be honest. It is incredibly unique, but incredibly dangerous on the same foot. We'll be racing there for the third time next year. I believe they were meant to be going to a purpose-built circuit in Saudi Arabia. I mean, this was purpose-built, but this is a street circuit, and I mean, it was only meant to be temporary. But, I mean, I believe the circuit to Gilles Villeneuve was also only meant to be a temporary originally. So some of the things in life are best because they're only meant to be temporary. So you will have the safety car in message now, I think. Yep, we do. So we'll go on board with our race leader, Glexus, in the Mercedes, the Austrian driver for the Mercedes team. We'll come round the final set of corners. This wonderfully, this is a really nice shot actually. Let's see if I can remember the buttons. Latvia, it's Latvia. Thank you, Mattia. I was trying to look at his icon, but anyway, he is coming out the final corner, and the Latvian driver comes towards the line, steps on the pedal, and it's actually PL Epics who's already shifted in front of Lipix. That seemed a bit early, but that gives Astro the opportunity to make this free wide, and maybe thinking a bit better of it. PL Epic has given that place back, but has got the place. Oh, there's contact between the two. I don't think Epic has left quite enough room for Leipzig there, and that means Leipzig actually loses 2 positions there. Leipzig will be fuming on the corner entry. Don't know if there was a racing room left, and Leipzig's trying to go for a move on Astro. Astro maybe picking up a bit of damage. He's definitely got damage. He's out of the race. His wheel off, and that could be another safety car. Certainly, with where that is stricken on the track, we'll have to keep an eye on those moments, but it is Glexus and Epic in the first and second at the moment. Epic having a good restart. Somehow, that wasn't a safety car. I've absolutely no idea why, but a good thing for the race in terms of not having to sit for another safety car period. Leipzig has just cut the corner massively against PL Epic and will be feeling really charged after that first lap incident there. El Turco down in 4th position. We have a few cars falling down at the back. I think Hoovy's lost a couple of positions to Code Ooze, and we'll go back to the front of this track as PLO Epic makes a big mistake out of turn 24, I believe that was, and that is another safety car. So he loses the front wing, and that brings out the safety car. Astro loses a whole wheel, and that doesn't bring out the safety car. It's a magical system, this. And the Williams will feel very hard done by as Paul Diver takes a big chunk out the wall. Twice he takes a chunk out the wall. Don't know what's going on there. But it's Glexus and Leipzig who are pitting. And Leipzig will be losing out massively here because he'll have to wait for his teammate to stick on the medium tyres. And coming through our cars, I think the Red Bull of Stone Knight may just get out in front here. I believe he has it. Leipzig has lost a whole handful of position there. About 5 or 6 to his teammate. Does actually shuffle back up into 7th position, but that's a handful of places lost because they double stacked. So the cars who pitted early doors, Wilm and Surprise, no, actually the cars who pitted early doors have pitted again. So Paul Diver, of course, we saw him make heavy contact with the wall. Hoovy has pitted for another set of mediums. So he must have started on soft side. He can't have done it twice. PL Epic had a big moment, and he's gone to a pair of softs. So he was on a medium tyre. So didn't have much an option. He's going to try and make these softs go to the end. And a bit of carnage, really, from that driver as he had a little bit of a collision down at the first corner after the safety car restart. And then a lap and a half later on, having a bit of a moment out of the chicane of 22 and 23 and dropping it on traction. And dumping it into the wall, so his wing fell off, and the safety cars come out to clear the track of debris. Surprising that it didn't come out for Astro, who, of course, crashed out, and his car was stricken on the track, but it's just how the system works. Surprise is now the race leader. Decided not to pit then. Yet to pit, actually, but Glexus... Ooh! Wilm Racing crashing into the back of Surprise there. Hopefully that's no diffuser damage for Surprise, but I believe that is front wing damage for Wilm Racing, so he will have to pit. So another mistake at turns 22, 3 and 4, as I think Wilm Racing just caught out with how slow the safety car would go through there, and crashes in back of Surprise. And Wilm Racing is going to go into the pits here, I presume. He does look like he's warming up his tyres a little bit, but I'd be surprised if he didn't go in. And it's he stays out with the wing damage, which is very, very brave at this track. I tell you what, wing damage is not fun through the first sector here. There's 2 and 3, you're absolutely fine, but through the first sector is absolutely terrifying. Surprise, by the way, makes a surprising move to pit a lap after. Epic has also pitted again for another set of soft tyres. I think just opting to take the softest tyres, the freshest tyres he can to the end here. And 7 laps it's doable. He'll lose a lot of pace to the mini runners towards the end here, but it is certainly doable. Obviously, in 25% conditions, you have to think that they can go only 25% the distance that the tyres can go in a normal race. So in a normal race, you're thinking about 10, 11, 12 laps, something like that the soft tyre could go to. So we're looking maybe 3 or 4 where they're going to be good, and then there'll be a couple of laps of suffering for the Alfa Romeo driver, currently sitting second in the Drivers' Championship. Let's see where he can get his car back up to. So those Mercedes were running so well early on. Into second position is Glexus. He'll still be happy with that. The car in head has front wing damage and is on older tyres, so you expect Glexus to dispatch of the Alfa Romeo in the lead, Wilm Racing. pretty quickly, but Leipzig's lost quite a few positions through a double stack pit stop where, of course, Leipzig was right behind, so it got held up and lost 3 positions to El Turco, Stone Knight and Rowley. It looked like it could have been worse, to be honest, but into 6th position he is. He's on the medium tyres, 2 cars in front. Stone Knight and Rowley, they have soft tyres, so should have a bit of better pace through the early part of this next stint of racing, but obviously we'll go away from them pretty quickly, to be honest, and I'm sure the safety car in message will be this time. Let's see how many laps of racing we got. We got about a lap and a half last time. Let's see if we can get a full 2 laps of racing in this Division 2 round of the crossplay. It's been shambolic, to say the least, so far tonight, and not the best display of racing up and down the field, but Wilm Racing will be in the lead of this Grand Prix, desperately trying to warm up the tyres and expect a whole heap of understeer through this first sector, but like going through a racetrack on a cross-channel ferry, as they all lean into the corners and fall away, and Glexus is caught out just a little bit by Wilm Racing, so it was a good start from Wilm Racing, who will create a little bit of a gap, but I'm sure we'll lose a lot of time through the first few corners. And it's Rowley having maybe a little look. El Turco has a look at Glexus and thinks better of it. And you can see, the speed differential between Glexus and Wilm Racing. This is going to be really interesting going through this very tight and technical first sector, sweeping corners. And will he maybe go for a move? We saw Leipzig go for a move on Astro, which left Astro out of the race as a consequence, as there's a spinner. It's Hoovy Gaming has fallen down, and Wilm Racing runs wide out of turn 12, and looking into a move into turn 13. Glexus thinks better of it, but maybe on the exit of turn 13 he senses an opportunity, and they'll go through turns 14 and 15, these 2 sweeping corners as we come to the sharp chicane of 16 out of 17 and 18 and into the next DRS zone, but they don't have DRS, but Glexus already looking for a move, and this will become the inside of turn 22, and I don't know if the Alfa Romeo has done enough here to hang it out. He thinks he has, and it backs off, and it's actually Leipzig who's been making a bit of progression through the field, as Stone Knight has actually fallen well down the order, and Leipzig's going for a move at El Turco on the exit of turn 23 and 24, and he's going to try and go around the outside. Both Mercedes attacking on the run down to turn 27 on the outside. Leipzig is up to 3rd place. Glexus snaps under the Alfa Romeo, and the Alfa Romeo is beaten there by Glexus, and Wilm Racing may peel into pits here. No, he doesn't. He'll try and fight back on the Mercedes driver, but he's also going to be worried because there's another Mercedes right behind, and Wilm Racing does throw it up the inside at turn 1. There's almost contact between the two. Good reaction from Glexus to get out of that one, and there's a spin from El Turco. Out from 4th in the race, El Turco has spun out. So that is difficult for him. Leipzig in 3rd, meanwhile, trying to go for a move around the outside of turns 5 and 6. There's a little bit of contact, and actually he has to skip over the chicane. You may think he may have to give that back because he didn't get the move done completely on the circuit, but I think he's just going to try and pull away and build a gap to the cars behind. He's not going to feel too bad about that one, but personally I think he didn't actually get a move done completely on the circuit, so he should maybe hand that place back, but that's suddenly going to become 4th position because Surprise is looking for a move on the run into turn 16, and he has got that done. He surprised him with a move out of turn 13, you could say. So a decent move from the Ferrari driver who's on those softs and will be looking to make the best of the soft tyre compound while it is still fresh and good to use. Wilm Racing, who is yet to pit from this Grand Prix, was probably certainly hoping for another safety car period to pit into, and Wilm Racing also will need a front wing change because he's missing a bit of end plate after a moment before the safety, during the safety car period, crashing into the back of the Ferrari driver, in fact. And Surprise, by the way, actually was all the way at the back. Code Ooze has DNF'd at some point, so has Pierre Leipzig. So those 2 cars are out of the race while we watch the battle at the front, and it's Leipzig's going to be trying to put pressure on his Mercedes teammate. I'm sure they'll just try and work together. It's Surprise, by the way, who puts in a 1:31.645. That's the fastest lap of the race so far. You'd expect it. He's really got those soft tyres turned on. Surprise, by the way, has got back all the way from the bottom of the grid here to the front within just a handful of laps, and it's Paul Diver, who's the next car to go and put pressure on Will Racing, who is just suffering and suffering and suffering. And I think Will Racing is going to have to pit soon and admit defeat, and maybe not picking up many points from this race. Surprise, by the way, does pick up a 3-second time penalty. Will Racing yet to pit, so we'll have to pit off of those tyres. No, he has pitted. He has pitted onto those medium tyres, so he could survive it to the end, but obviously that wing damage making it very difficult for him out of tractions. And Will Racing fights back out of turn 13 there. Paul Diver does not get the move done into turn 16, but he'll have a better run out of turn 16. Picks up the activation. Will Racing making further contact with the wall out of 17 and 18 as they run down to turn 22. He has DRS for the next 3 straights, and I believe he'll get a move done into turn 27 here. As we run down, this will be the biggest opportunity that Paul Diver will have to overtake, and it's Will Racing who's doing a bit of deploy actually. Let's see, yeah, he's done quite a bit of deploy to keep him behind, and Paul Diver's actually clipping at the end of that. So very, very difficult to have any kind of traction out of that final corner though, and has a little bit more EOS to spend. So maybe into the first corner here. Can Paul Diver make a move on Will Racing? At the front, Lipix is still within DRS range of his teammate, and surprised, by the way, not pulling in that gap. So Paul Diver really actually struggling to get by Will Racing, and maybe he'll have to go for an unorthodox move through the first sector, because this is where Will Racing is his race pace is just falling off a cliff, because he's on those old medium tyres, and of course has a damaged front wing, so he has next to no turn. And Paul Diver just running wide a little bit there, and I'm sure Will Racing will have to concede soon enough. He does actually get a 3-second penalty, so Paul Diver doesn't need to get the move done on track if he gets no penalties throughout the rest of it, but I'm sure he will. I think he just needs to reserve a little bit more EOS back and not use it out of places like this. And there's a little bit of contact out of turn 13 between the Alpine and the Alfa Romeo, and he's just using EOS where he doesn't need to use EOS, I feel. And as they come out of turn 16, he has another attempt to overtake, and this will be the inside for turn 22. But he'll be under pressure out of 22 on the run down to 27. And Will Racing clearly just having much better straight line speed, but not keeping it on the track, and does finally lose that position. And that will be Stone Knight who will be next up to have a go. And Lipix is getting very, very close to Glexus, and makes contact with the wall out of turn 27. And I wonder if he's picked up any damage from that. It doesn't look like it's any damage. It made... could still be a little bit of damage on there, but made a bit of contact with the wall, and battling between these turbo drivers would obviously benefit the Ferrari behind. And Stone Knight looking for a move around the outside into turn 1, and Wilm has gone very, very tight, and I don't know if Stone Knight realised he was still there. There's a crash between those two, and Stone Knight actually gets a penalty for cutting the corner, a 3-second penalty. I'm sure he'll ask for that one to be reviewed, because he'll feel like he was forced off. But Lipix does pick up a penalty, so Lipix picks up a 3-second penalty. So the race is certainly on for second position, and actually Stone Knight gets a 5-second penalty for not giving that place back to Will Racing. So yeah, a big penalty on Stone's head there, so he will be falling backwards through the grid. Glexus really nice and controlled through this race, one of a few cars not to pick up penalties, along with Paul Diver and Hoovy, and of course Rowley. And you know what, Paul Diver, if he can just close that gap a little bit, he's not too far away from penalty range from the cars in front. If their cars in front get another penalty, he would be able to take third place off of Surprise, but he'll just have to focus on these final 2.5 laps to get through this one, and hopefully not cause too much of a kerfuffle. Lipix, meanwhile, still trying to put pressure on his teammate, but I think these two drivers will realise that they just need to work together, because they could be picking up a real handful of points here. I think the fastest lap of the race is currently sitting with it is El Turco who has fastest lap, so they won't be picking up fastest lap, but as it stands they would be picking up 47 points all in all, 21 points for second, 25 points for first, and of course the qualifying pole lap from Glexus will get them on the board. And just cutting the corners a bit, Lipix, I think he's given up trying to hunt his teammate, knows he can back off and not get warnings through that first sector. So tricky, this first sector requires a lot of commitment, Jeddah. And Paul Diver in fourth position here has fallen away from Surprise, by the way. So second is 20 points. Why did I say 21 points though? Has that changed, Matteo? Because everything I've got here says 21 points. But okay, so 20 points, so that would make it 46 points gained through the race. And Surprise is coming up here into the final sector. Surprise, I think he's just going to try and cling on to 3 seconds, but on those older soft tyres, that could be very, very difficult for him. Let's see whether racing is in the field. Rowley has maybe a chance to get Wilm here. Wilm, who's picked up a lot of damage throughout the race, he'll be behind Rowley on the road anyway, but I'm sure Rowley would like to get the job done on the final lap. Okay, right, that makes sense. So Epic had fastest lap at the last Grand Prix. Okay, so 21 points is 20 points for second, but that would be 46 points for the Mercedes boys, which would rock them really high up into the championship, as they currently have no points on the board. And Rowley will attack Wilm throughout the final part of this race. And actually, Rowley, as it stands, if he can get past it was ultra DNFs in the Aston Martin, DNFs through turns 22, 23 and 24. If Rowley can keep this on track and get no penalties, he could be going as high as 5th position for the AlphaTauri team. I think this is maybe just a reserve appearance for Rowley. I can't quite remember. No, he must be. But actually, Wilm Racing runs really far off the track there and won't be holding him up any further. So Rowley just needs to stay within within 8 seconds of Stone Knight, and currently has 6.5 seconds gap. We'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, at the front, Lipix is still right behind his Mercedes teammate, and they've managed to pull a nice little safety buffer to the Ferrari behind. Pool Diver not close enough to be within a penalty range of the cars in front, but it's Glexus who will be picking up the win here. Lipix sends it really late, almost crashing into his teammate as they round the final corner. Will he maybe have a chance to the line? Glexus will go very, very defensive, but it's Glexus who takes the race win of round 2. Lipix in second, 3rd position for the Ferrari driver of Surprise. So another good result for him, reserving in. Pool Diver in 4th, 5th for Stone Knight, who's slowing it down but has a bit of a penalty. So closes that down massively. Rowley is within range here, and thank you very much, Jaboy, for the follow. Rowley is in range, so he picks up 5th position. 6th for Stone Knight. Will Racing crosses the line. He picks up 7th position, out for El Turco, and Hoovy Gaming in 10th. And yeah, you seem like you're really suffering through that first sector. And Lipix saying he picked up 5 laps. Is that when you crashed into the wall at turn 27, Lipix? Is that when you picked up a bit of wing damage, the final corner? Because I just caught that on stream. Yeah, right, okay. Yeah, okay, so we'll have a quick look at the results, and then we will jump over to the post-race interviews. There's an interview section, and I will begin hosting that now, but obviously no one will be able to join. So if I jump into interview and start event, and I'm not going to do it at everyone, so just start the event. I've never done this before. We have the podium celebration of Glexus, and if people want to join me in the interview area, it's right at the top of the channels in Discord, and we'll be able to bring your voice into the race. So Glexus is going to go connect his mic, so we'll have a race winner for sure. And yeah, drop us a follow on our streams. Of course, we have the Division 1 of the Crossplay tomorrow, and we have Choco League on Saturday this week, and maybe an F2 race. I mean, that's never been streamed, but maybe. So it's Glexus from Lipix in 2nd place, 3rd position for Surprise, and the Mercedes team must be really, really far up the order. I can't quite work out on the fly, but I think they may actually shift into 1st position. If I could go into a view which worked, so the Alpha may go pick up a few points, but I think the Mercedes may be leading the championship after this race. Yes, let's just go through and do what I normally do, just have a look at all the results, and just in case anyone wants this for historical purposes, we'll scroll down. look at the incidents, and look at the pit stops. Just so it's all documented and there. So of course, try and join us in the interview. Lipix, yeah, jump into the interview room, and you can definitely come in and do an interview. So just join in, and I'll drag you in, and we'll talk you through this one. So let's switch over to post-race interviews. We have Lipix who's just joined. Let's promote Lipix to the stage. I have no idea how to do that. Right-click, invite to speak. So I've invited you to speak, Lipix. So how did you find that second place? And you said you had wing damage through the final stint.
Yeah, last around 5 laps, I went wide at 27, crashed into the wall, got yellow wing damage, and I was just struggling.
Did you feel like you had the pace to maybe beat your teammate without that wing damage?
I couldn't say yes because the 3-second penalties and time and track limits were bad. But without them, yeah, probably.
Right. Okay. Well, interesting stuff. You're. I think you're leading the constructors' championship now. Presuming there's no penalties out of that race. 20 points you've picked up for the team. 26 by your teammates. That's 46 points. And by my rough calculations, you're certainly in the top 2 of the constructors. And are you pushing for the constructors with your teammate Glexus?
I could imagine we'll get it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I can see us easily winning
it. So backing yourself early on.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Right, okay. I'll move you back to the audience, and we'll get our race winner, Glexus, in. So winning after 3 weeks of not racing, Glexus. You're deafened for some reason. Let me see.
Hello. I can. Yeah, sorry.
How are you doing?
Good.
Are you happy with that result? Do you feel like you want to push into the first division?
I want to race in both divisions, to be honest. I think, considering how close me and Lipix were when he had wing damage, we're going to have a good battle throughout the season. Yep. And technically, this is my first real league race win, so I'll take it.
Really? Right, okay. Well, congratulations on that. Obviously, you raced in Division 1, well, the only division last year for Crossplay. And are you feeling confident for the constructors going forward? I believe you've just took the constructors lead after picking up no points through the first weekend.
Lipix is a strong teammate. We're both same pace. As long as we don't take each other out, we're definitely winning both championships.
Absolutely. So that's 26 points you've picked up today, fastest qualifying lap, and 25 points from the win. Congratulations for your first win. Let's move you back to the audience and grab in Wilm Racing, who was half a star of the show. He's really struggling with wing damage after crashing into the back of Surprise under the safety car. What was it like struggling through on that final stint on those old mediums with that wing damage?
Yeah, Sector 1 was just absolutely impossible, so I just tried to keep as much cars behind me as possible. And yeah, it was hard to keep back the Mercs during that, and then when Rowley came, I just ended up cutting the corner because I had absolutely no steering ability through the corners, especially in Sector 1.
It did look like a cross-channel ferry you were driving through the first sector, and that's. I was surprised to see that you didn't pit, but you did end up picking up 7th position. Was it in the race, or was it 6th?
Yeah, the idea was so for Epic's championship, I would stay back, defend as much as I could against the Mercs and everyone, so he could catch up, and then I'd let him pass. That was the idea, but until he DNF'd, so then it was just up to me to bring back points for the team.
Yep. So difficult weekend for the Alfa Romeo team. You won't be topping the standings going into the next week, but I'm sure that the Alfa Romeo can certainly come back and fight. And let's just grab Hoovy Gaming into the Discord. I think you had a bit of a difficult race, Hoovy. Of course, you crashed out in the. Did you crash out in both of those?
Yes, in lap 1, I was caught up in a crash. Got spawned. Unfortunately, I didn't get any damage, but got put right at the back of the field. Then at lap 7, I was pushing too hard on cold tires and I just lost it. Broke my wing a little. and I tried to stay out, and I was seeing how big was the damage in performance. It was too big, and I was losing too much time. So at the end, I just pitted, but it was too late. I lost too much time, and lost a lot of places at the end.
Yeah, so a disappointing result for you there, and I think you're reserve, right? Is that right? You're reserve, or are you a reserve? I can't remember. No, you're Haas, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know why I'm saying you're reserve. So yeah, difficult for the Haas team, of course. No teammate for you at the moment, is there? So I'm sure you'll be able to come back and fight next time out. Are we at Suzuka next time out? I'm sure someone can tell me. But yes, congratulations on that one, and hope you have a stronger race next time out. Let's finally just get Surprise into the call. Surprise, who finished third in the race, choosing an aggressive set of softs at the end there. You were right at the back of the field after having a bit of contact with Wilm under the safety car period, but you fought that back. Did you think you'll come back to the front of the field that quickly?
No, I think I should have pitted a lap before. Basically, I just wanted to know what the other drivers were doing, and yeah, I just wanted to focus on the now moment, knowing what the others will do. Yeah, I was lucky with the incidents. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gained so much positions. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So, it was a decent result nonetheless. A third position, I think you got second last time out after penalties were applied. So, you're not on the driver's standings because you are a reserve driver, but I think you'd be well placed if you were. But picking up good constructors' points for the Ferrari team, is it nice to put in a stint for your reserve team?
Yeah, I think. I always want to help Ferrari. I like Ferrari in real life, but how do I say? It's difficult to say, really.
Oh, okay, well, fair enough, and good racing there, and I think we'll wrap up this stream there. I could talk to everyone about every moment of that race, but you have to stop at some point. So thank you very much for everyone who's joined this first post-race interview section. And yes, right, okay. Goodbye, everyone. We have Division 1 tomorrow, of course, so look out for that. And thank you very much. I've been Gareth Allen. Have a nice night.